Welcome to Tammy Nation. Let's go.
I've been running from 9 to 5, been biting my tongue for all this time. Won't let anyone cut me short. I was thinking this was the way to go, and you put up your puppet show. I say cheers to life. No, I'll be no good man's wife. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tammy Nation tonight. It's Tuesday night, 10 o'clock at night, February 28th. Tomorrow is March 1st already, and I thought I'd pop on and have a quick little show tonight because I haven't been on in a few days. And I've also got Cam backstage so he can catch us up on what he's been doing too. So welcome, everybody. It's good to see you all. Thanks for stopping in, and let's go ahead and just bring Cam right on in. Hey, Cam.
Hello.
Hey, I'm
Hi.
glad you could make it last second here.
Well, yeah, I was wanting to get more photos put up. I was just playing around.
Were you? Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been pretty busy too the last few days and stuff, but I thought it'd be good to pop on and just catch up with everybody and say hi. So I'm glad that you could make time to stop in and say hi too. For me, I don't know about where you're at in Indiana, but for me, over the weekend and today, it's been beautiful spring weather. So I've started the spring cleaning, and we all know what that means. You go through your closets and everything, and it ends up being this bigger task than you expect. And then we decided to paint one of our bathrooms. I'm not allowed to paint. I'm allowed to clean up after and decorate, but I'm not a good painter. So I've been wrapped in that. How are you at painting?
I did it professionally for a long time.
Yeah, the building's outside, but you can be messy on buildings on the outside. Did you do the inside
No, I did
too?
interior custom painting and stuff like that. Like my dad had a company. I hate it though.
Yeah,
Like
it's not.
I don't. At one time it was you could make decent money doing it. Anymore, I don't like it. I'd rather. It's bad because I tell my wife I'd rather hire somebody to do it.
Even though you
But
know how to do it. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's that time of year for me. I mean, here in Georgia, that yellow pollen's starting to come up and cover everything. And so shortly we're not going to be able to have our windows open and stuff. So I've been trying to make the most between work and everything else the last few days, just trying to, get the house organized and stuff. I also have some out of town company coming at the end of March. So you know how that is too, right? When you have out of town company, then
yeah.
you got to start cleaning up, doing all this extra stuff. And so
What
it's been
happened to
busy.
What happened? They took your live stream down, didn't they?
Yeah, the one that we did the other night with everybody. And
You
we
didn't
had
get
the
a
last.
strike, though, I wouldn't imagine, did you?
No.
Okay, good.
But you know what? I think I've figured out Rumble. However, I'm just going to try to delete on my own if that happens again from YouTube and just leave it up on Rumble. But
Right.
tonight, instead of going live to Twitter, I decided to try to go live to Rumble, but it says it's not doing it. So you're right, Cam. Rumble is kind of hard to figure out.
It's problematic as hell. Like I dealt with it, like I said, out that event when we were out there with Mike. It's very hard to keep a stream going stable in a stable fashion. Like, and then the people. So I don't know this because I don't bother with Rumble outside of me helping other people, and I didn't know that much anyway about it. But the people think that there's this live chat, but there's not. Apparently, with Rumble, you have to have is it the app or something like that with a phone, like on iPhone. Then you can live chat, but then like people think that the thing below the videos, the live chat, no, that's just a comment section.
Oh,
And so
okay.
you don't. That's another downfall about it. It's not very interactive for the chat. So it's like here's the thing. If you're gonna, what's up, Chris? How you doing, buddy? How's everybody doing? I know a lot of you
Hey,
guys saying
guys.
hi to it.
Yeah, Benjamin.
If you're not going to be doing too much, and here's the honest to God truth about YouTube. I have still yet to get a strike. And I have
How is that
covered,
possible?
I don't know. And I've even communicated. So like now that I've been, in my honest, YouTube is not that bad. YouTube is not that bad. Like I think that when it comes to, I think when it comes to things like C19 or whatever, you know, I even say those words. They don't get me. I think it's in the context that you say it. Like I think, honest to God, if you were going to go out there and make a video on YouTube, and let's say you wanted to have an opinion on a virus or something, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And you want to express your opinion. I think to YouTube, as long as you tell them this is my opinion, I'm not a medical advisor, I'm not a medical professional, because you know what I found out is I watch a lot of these doctors on YouTube that are talking about C19 in a very negative light. They never get taken down. Their videos never get flagged. I think that it boils down. My point being here is, why is everybody so scared of YouTube? Like it's like you get 3 chances basically. Like if you end up with a strike, okay, no big deal. I think your first strike 7 days. And then every 90 days that strike falls off. Oh, sorry. So you literally could screw up 2 times every 90 days, which is almost impossible to do because YouTube, believe it or not, is not paying attention to you as much as you think they are. They don't have the time. That's why there's an algorithm and there's like bots that, you know, scan words and copyright issues and things like that. Like, I think it's like 9 times out of 10, there's not even a human being that's. So my point is, I don't see the need, to sum this up, to go on another platform, especially when that platform, I think the last time I looked it up was about 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
YouTube has a combined like 2.3 billion users on the YouTube platform. Okay. Worldwide. Then you've got Rumble, which has, I think, like I said, this has been about 4 months ago. I think it was somewhere in the low 30 millions. That's a drop in the bucket compared to YouTube's exposure, right? If you want to grow a channel, I don't know about Twitch. I know nothing about Twitch. I refuse to go over there because when I was told about Twitch a couple years ago, I guess it was more a gaming platform, which I love gaming. I'm a big time gamer. I just don't stream myself and I don't watch other people gaming. So it was like, there's really no need for what I'm doing to put it on Twitch when 90% of their audience over there is there to watch hot 19-year-old women game from Germany. That's what it is. I mean, go to Twitch every once in a while. So it's like, I think that YouTube is more looked at as being this big evil thing more than it really is. It's like, yes, if you say something completely stupid, they're going to strike you. If you steal somebody's content, they're going to strike you. But for God's sakes, people, I have used other channels' logos. I have used their personalities just for satire. Never, ever had a single peep out of YouTube. This is like the Wild West. And I think the far right turned YouTube into something it really wasn't. It's like...
That's very possible. I mean, but you know, you got to figure, Cam, the other night we were having a blast, but I think mine was some kind of audio that we used, and it said it was 256 something countries, and it was these I mean, I was like, what is this? I really thought it was a joke at first, but then, you know, I submitted my disclaimer or whatever, my protest to it or whatever you call it. And then, I sent it to you. And then it came back to me, well, we're still, and I'm like, you know what? the heck with it. So it is what it is. But you're right. I did get Tammy Nation 2 up. I didn't grab the link to put it up tonight. Maybe I'll do it in my show tomorrow. I'm doing a devotional, but I do have Tammy Nation 2, I think it is. And so if you just keep doing that, then I guess you're okay, as long as people can find you, and I'm, like I said, I it's not like I want this huge platform and stuff. I just want to make sure that the people that want to follow me can find me, obviously. That's all there is to it. So if I get 3 strikes, that's cool with me. I know that go ahead.
No, I was just laughing. I mean, I don't worry about it. Like, I haven't done a live on my channel in quite 4 or 5 days now. I mean, I've done a short or something like that, and people, but I couldn't believe it's not a ton of people, but I've had I think 8-10 people email me or write me on Facebook or when are you going to do your next show? And it's like, it's I don't even look at them as shows. It's just more so just complete fuckery. Sorry to say, it's
conversations, just randomness.
Laugh,
just sharing.
Make fun of people, make fun of each other. I don't care. Make fun of me. It's like, so after a certain amount of time, when your content's based off of other people being idiots and they kind of slow down being idiots, I've said it before. I don't have the desire to study other YouTube channels all day long so that I can make a video every night. I just got my new lens in today. You know what I mean?
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
I know,
it finally
you're
came
busy.
in.
Yeah, you're busy doing that.
I got the other channel that I want to focus on. It's actually 2 other channels, and I'm not going to tell anybody the one channel because I want it to be its own little thing, grow organically with no outside interference. I want it for me. But it's like, hell, it's hard to find time to do that. You see it, I want to go somewhere and then something happens or the weather doesn't cooperate.
Yeah.
I damn sure don't want to sit there and pay attention to. I mean, I will. Like I said, the Uncle Tifa show will always be there because I believe at least once a month somebody's going to do something stupid as shit, and I'll be at least to make a show on that, But going out of my way to constantly freaking produce content in a genre that I normally wouldn't really do, you know what I mean, and spend all that time. I just don't have the desire. So I'm with you. If they take me down, it's not that big of a loss to me. Now, if my exploring channel got taken down, let's say, and I had, 10,000 followers on it, and I've went, 20 different locations that have cost me thousands of dollars in travel. Yeah, I'd be a little bummed, I'd be but that's almost virtually impossible to get taken down as an actual creator, that's doing music or you're doing traveling or hiking. YouTube loves that. They're making money off of you. It's not controversial. Everybody can come together and be part of it, regardless of their political or religious affiliations.
Yeah.
You're kind of in that in between, right? You're you know what I mean? So it's like,
well, yeah, and that's what I was going to say about this show because I've had time off to think about it, and this show has gone for me many different directions, but it is the time and the effort and the energy. And I'm going to say that the last few days, like today, I was with a friend all day. I mean, I worked this morning, but I came home and we had a girls' day. We went and had lunch and did some stuff, and I came home and it's a beautiful day. And my thing is, hey, Adam, and hey, Kim, and anybody that we didn't say hi to yet, Donna, good to see you all. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi and spending some time with us. But I really just want to, my mind, it's come and gone as far as, when there's something in the news that I think is big, I'm going to pop on and cover it. Of course, there's always a little something going on, but the amount of energy and effort that I spent in the previous channel, I don't have the desire to do that anymore, on top of
Right.
worrying about being taken down and all that. Do I want to enjoy the conversations like the show we had the other night, or when you and I have a show, we generally have a good time. It's relaxed, it's conversation, it's a place for people to hang out. That's where I want to be. If interviews pop up, I'll do an interview here and there. But I found that I just want to be me and hang out and have conversation. And I think people need that. I think people are really getting news fatigued. They're getting fatigued with everything. We know that 2024 is coming up. The closer we get to that, I mean, obviously I'll cover more of that, but it almost feels like that for now, let's just kind of slide and enjoy, ease back into real life, get away from all the things that we think's going on, that people say is going on, and just kind of enjoy each other's company and have a laugh or two. And the simple things, like I said, painting or spring cleaning. And, it feels good to clean out the old and get in the new, because, even though I do constantly clean and make donations, I like to hang on to stuff just in case. So I kind of, it takes me a while to actually let some things go. I'm in Georgia and I have an obsession with like furry, comfy blankets. You barely need blankets here in Georgia. So I'm like piling those up thinking there's needy that can have them. So, and you start going through that. And then I don't know about you, but you find like I found some of my husband's old like mic stands and different things from when he was in radio. So you sit there and you just start having memories about things. So then it's like next thing you know, 3 hours goes by. But I think that's a healthy, good way to spend some time. You need to, yes, Richard, here for the laughs, tired of all the BS. And, it is fatiguing. And we do have to get back to our real life. We really do. We have been stagnant for a long time as far as being social, enjoying company, spending time with friends, because we've been so engaged in everything. And this is like, it feels good to detox out of all of it, to be so strict and just rigid and just do news 24/7. It's just not that fun for me anymore.
Right.
I'm just burnt out.
Well, I mean, that's where I got to. It was like everywhere you go, no matter if it's on the left, the right, whatever.
Yeah.
You got people basically, the end of the world, this. If it's not the doomsdayers, it's the Christians saying God's going to come back and destroy us soon. It's like everywhere you go, the end of the world is imminent and near. And I finally decided one day, it was like, I'm not going to, I don't know. I've still got to live my life. Like I've still got to, build the additions on my house. There's things that I still want to do, or this, that, and the other. So I just don't focus on, I don't know. I just don't focus on, it's not that I don't watch it, right? Like I still watch the news like everybody else or whatever. It's just like, I guess the way I'm looking at it is, if the end is near, I want to go out with a bang. I'm still going to take my kids. So it's time to me. What it does to me is it makes me realize, well, if time is of the essence, well, then I got to get going. I got to get doing it, And so the last place I really want to be all the time is on the internet. Don't get me wrong. I don't want it to make this sound like, oh, well, I love going after making fun of somebody who deserves it, and it's not, like I said, it's not necessarily just to pick on them. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain that. It's like, you see all these people, it's like, come on, man, you got to pull your head out of your ass. Life's not all that bad. I don't know. Do you think all these financial, like wealthy people in the world are sitting in their basements with their tinfoil hats on, or do you think they're still buying investments?
Yeah.
So life still moves forward for the majority of people. They don't stop living. And I feel that that's kind of what happened on YouTube with a lot of these far right, like QAnon people. It's like they're so tense all the time. It's like, it's like
they don't take a breath. They don't take a breath to enjoy happiness. The only way they get excited is if something comes near true of something they thought would, or they try to spin it so it is. And
Right.
I've said this before, that is not reality. People are not living in reality. Hey, Deanna, and
Hey.
stuff. No, Deanna does a good job covering California, Humboldt County. And we were just talking, Deanna, it's just where you're fatigued from all of it. I mean, I was in it, 7 days a week, many hours a day, because it takes a lot to produce and come up with the content and be knowledgeable to do all these shows that I was doing. I'm thankful for it, but I am burnout because I'm not one that lives in that tense environment for very long, very well, because I am a happy-go-lucky person. I enjoy the simple things in life. I always have. It's not that I'm not paying attention, but I've even pulled away from some of the stuff going on here in my state just for a little bit. I need that break. Everybody needs a break and to step away, a vacation from it all, your work, no matter what it is, no matter how much you love it, you still need that break, that sanity moment. And
Right.
for me, I'm excited because the company I have coming, it's like only the second time I've had company come and visit and want to stay the last 3 years because of everything that, we all went through. I've had nothing but phone conversations or text messaging. So being able to spend time with people in person, to me, is an amazing thing. And I'm very excited about it, because, that's a long time to be separated from family members or certain friends that are out of state, So I'm just really looking forward to it. It's almost, the season here where it's swim season and you can be outdoors all the time. And I'm looking forward to that without jackets and stuff, I should say. And in the flowers, I said before here, they bloom. It's beautiful down here. It's just everything goes in bloom and it's amazing. Now it's going to be rough in a few weeks because of the pollen and the allergies. But after that, it's golden until it turns cold again. And that's going to be a long ways away. So I'm really looking forward to it. Have you
Right.
had any warm weather where in Indiana?
Oh
at all?
yeah.
I haven't
We're
paid attention.
yeah, we got the. I wanted to address the question in the most polite way I possibly can because this is Tammy's
What?
channel. So, but Kathleen Weekly says, I dislike the filthy language so much, I will unsubscribe and leave the channel if it continues. I can't speak for Tammy's channel. Tammy doesn't cuss very much. It's usually me. If it's me that you're referring to and you're subscribed to my channel, then go ahead and unsubscribe. Nothing against Tammy. Like I said, this is me, Uncle Tifa. Just because somebody says they don't like something I do doesn't mean I'm going to quit doing it. I don't do everything I do for one person or everybody. I do it for me. I'm not going to stop being me. I mean, I appreciate you, verbalizing that, but yeah, if you don't like my channel, if you're over on it, just unsubscribe from it. It doesn't hurt my feelings a bit. I understand. But yeah, we've had really good weather, actually. I mean, it's that's another thing. I see that coming,
What?
and it's like, yeah, you're just like, man, my wife and I have been talking about it with the kids. You know what I mean? It's like we're ready to start. That's part of it too. We have talked about like the I guess the internet life versus your actual real life, and
Yeah.
people get just a small glimpse of what really goes on, and it's like, if I would have recorded everything we did last year, it would have taken hours and hours of SD card space. And so it was like, we're always going somewhere as much as we can, as much as like I said, weather permits it. And this year we're making plans to make that even bigger. We love going places. The kids like getting out. I think the best place for kids is outdoors as much as you can get them out there.
Yes.
So it's like I said it. I can't remember where the hell I said it. I said it in a chat somewhere. I probably won't be on YouTube very much for about the next 8 months, aside doing a silly live here or there. I've noticed it was more, somebody made a comment one time and I kind of took offense to it. But then as I listened to it, or as I thought about it further, I was like, yeah, they probably are right to a degree. They said, you do this. They were over there because I was messing with LW at the time, right? But it was like, why you do this? You bored? And I started thinking of it. Yeah, it's wintertime. Very.
Oh, no.
You know, and it seems like it's like up here, wintertime, the weather's really shitty most of the time in the winter.
Yeah.
I don't want to say shitty, but it's not, you know, when it's negative 17 freaking degrees, you're not going to go out and change your oil like you would on April 1st, or
Right.
you know what I mean?
Or it's
So it was,
cloudy. There's seasonal disorder that people have. You know, I lived in Michigan most all my
yeah,
life, and people get that in the winter. You know, if the sun's not out and it's just gloomy and cloudy day after day or rainy, you know, you do just get kind of low and low.
seasonal
And you
depression.
know, yeah, it is. It's like a little thing. So when you can go outside and enjoy it, and that's good for the kids, you're exactly right. The kids around here, because we have all these different paths all through. It's like over 100 miles of paths where I live in this community, and people walk them. They ride the bikes, or we have the golf carts. And I'm telling you, it sounds so silly to maybe some people, but Cam, getting on a little golf cart and going through the woods, because it's cement trails or paved trails through the woods. You can go to stores, we've got lakes you can drive by and you can sit up. There's openings, there's parks you can drive to, and it really does promote the outdoor lifestyle. And when all
Hmm.
that was going on, with when we were all shut in, these paths were a lifesaver for me mentally and emotionally. So I like nature. I like it out there. Seeing all the different, I mean, we had butterflies already flying around our yard the other day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I enjoy those kind of things in life. Those things in life make me happy. So
Hmm.
I would promote people do whatever you can do after what all we've learned being locked down for a few years, and all we've gone through. If you have the ability, downsize and move to a place that will help you keep your sanity, because I'm all about the downsizing and just be wherever you can be happy at. And I know some people say, well, I can't do that, I have this or this or this. There's always a reason not to, but at least have a goal and try to save, or just have a goal to get there eventually. Don't just keep waiting and think you can never do it, because I believe that it's never too late. I think that you can reach something like that if you're willing to sacrifice some of the comforts in life, because we don't need brand new cars. We don't need two cars. We don't need this. We don't
Oh
need all
God,
these clothes.
we're
Yeah.
about to buy one,
Oh man,
which we actually really needed because now we're gonna have 3 kids. So it was like we don't we've bought new cars before, but now we're buying we're buying a used Honda Pilot. It's a few years old, but
uh-huh.
my buddy's the sales, the general manager at dealership, so I get a really good deal. And we both really like the Honda Pilot, and so we're gonna get one of those just for my wife. I'm gonna keep my Astro van, but yeah, I
Yeah.
just the funny when you mentioned the whole lot, everybody being locked down for a while. I think one of the funniest times I remember, it wasn't really like funny. It just showed that people, even in the early stages, were very no. Like I think people knew that this is just bad for your mental state of being. Like it just you cannot just not do shit. So we still can. So well, quick story. It's not funny or anything, but it is one of those things. I guess some people might find humorous. So anyway, me being the dad of the family, this was back it had to have been right like 2020, the end of 20. I think it was fall maybe or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And that's right, because my daughter got out of school for the summertime, right? And I was like, that's it. This summer we're gonna do something. And at the time she was 4 years old, 4.5 going on 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
And uh oh, okay.
What?
Anyway, I don't know. I guess Catholic Weekly doesn't like. I don't. Am I even cussing? I don't know. I didn't know I was cussing. She says,
Oh,
"Thank you, Susie. I'm not on your channel, Cam. So, Tammy, I really enjoy listening to you. But when you read scripture and then roll out the language, I can listen to someone else. Bye for now."
okay, I
I'm not
respect
even gonna.
that. I don't.
Yeah, I
It's
respect that. That's what we just said politely.
Yeah.
We don't blame you.
Mm-hmm.
We might
Cam's
drop a cuss
Cam's
word from time to time, but every other Christian out there, whether they cuss or not, I guarantee you they're doing something right. All sins are
Yeah.
equal. But not to get
Yeah.
off of this, I just unless
That's
you want to
okay.
address that, I just don't want to.
No, I'm going to say I respect her opinion and I thank her. That's okay for saying that, that's how she feels. That's how she feels. People are people. And this is what I'm
I
going to
just didn't
say
even
as
know I
well.
was cussing. I was
This
just telling.
is, yes, this is what I'm going to say too. With Cam, I'm just going to go over this real quick. Just because people, and I get people don't like cussing and, cussing's not good. But there are people out there who may not cuss, who are a lot worse underneath the skin, okay, underneath the surface. So everybody has their thing. Cam, to me, I know he does his best when he's on my channel. Cam respects me. Cam is a great guy, and Cam has supported me. So I'm going to support Cam. When it's his channel, but he does the best he can with me. And you know what? That's good enough for me. So, and I'm going to respect what Kathy has to say.
Yeah, I
And
try
I
to
know
cut it
Cam.
back, like, and if
Yep.
not totally, like I'm not trying to.
Yep, I know. It's okay, Cam. We're going to let that go. We've covered that. But I wanted to cover something else too, because Christopher was saying that in the summer, he rides his bike 100 miles a week and then he hits the breweries on the bike path and he has a few beers and eat. See, that's life. Sit there. Can you imagine being on a bike path? You spend the day, you're getting all that good exercise, that fresh air. You have, a beer and you get something to eat. That's life.
Well, there's an
And it's not,
update.
what?
I don't know if you remember hearing this, but Christopher Sandor and I are going to be doing a little bit of work together as far as social
Really?
media. So, I'm pretty sure that's what he also enjoys cooking. And you remember me mentioning out even at the event that I bought I like cooking. I just never thought to really. My wife's been the one that's been pushing me. You need to do a YouTube channel cooking.
Yeah.
But I never want. Again, I didn't have a ton of interest at the time. So. Not only that, Chris is going to meet up with me when I go to Gary to do explorations, and we're both going to do it together. But
really? Oh gosh, I'm looking.
Well, I told you I would everywhere I go, I'd like to get one person subscribed to my channel, and if they want to be part of it, absolutely. Like come and help me out. I'd like to do that.
Savannah.
But
If you go to Savannah, I want to come. Yeah.
Well, Savannah's definitely in the books.
Yeah.
Because it's I'll just say it. Yeah, Savannah's in the books. But anyway, back to the thing. Okay. But yeah, Christopher is a busy guy. He does do shit outside. We talk quite a bit now, and he's a good dude.
Good.
But so I tell my family, I'm like, hey, let's pack everything up. I think COVID at the time, it was just it hadn't been out long. You know what I mean? It was like in the very beginning stages.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe. Well, maybe about 8-9 months at the time, I think, because they had shut down. They were, shutting down things, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, I don't read into it because this will give you an idea of how little I paid attention to the drama just 2.5, 3 years ago. I load the CRV down. We've got the Bryn, she was like 1.5 years at the time or 2.
Uh-huh.
And I load it down. I've got the Coleman gas stoves, the everything. And I called down to Red River Gorge in Kentucky, right along the Red River. Found this really nice campground that had like all the, it was right around the lodge, so we could go eat lunch at the lodge and stuff. I had it all planned out. We go to head out. And the guy told me, so I booked it you book it online. And you pay when you get there, but you book it, right? You're reserving it.
Yeah.
And I can't remember where we made it to, but I think it was right before we went to go cross over the river, the Ohio River, to go into Kentucky. And I figured good time to call. We'll be there in a couple hours. I just want to double check. I want to make sure everything is. He goes, it probably doesn't say this on the website, but did you know that they're doing a two-week quarantine? At that time, it was 14 days, right? So if you're an out-of-stater, you go to Kentucky, right? Before you go back into your other state, you have to have a test. And if you test positive, you have to quarantine for 14 days. Right? Well, I wasn't paying attention. Basically, to sum it up, no camping. I wouldn't risk it, right? So, I mean, I had this car just loaded the frick down. And it was a bummer, man, because the kids were the girls were really bummed because we were going to do fishing and hiking, and we had our bicycle. They were really looking forward to an outdoorsy weekend. So I was like really bummed. I looked at my wife and I was like, first we try to find anywhere else. Is there somewhere in Indiana we can go just so we can just, we've already got it all ready. Pretty much everybody. That's when they were shutting everything down. Well, little did I know, they were boarding off the trails to all the state and national parks too. You weren't allowed to go, which made no sense. Which made no sense. Like, you're out in the open. You're barely ever. I mean, on a good day, you might pass 2 or 3 hikers on a 2-mile trail. Like, if there's anywhere you'd want to be, tell people to go out into the forest or something, right? If they have to go have activity. So it ended up happening. We went hiking that day. And the point I was going to bring up is that was the first time I seen people desperate to get out and do something.
Yeah.
Because it had been happening for quite some time. And we get down to this place called Clifty Falls State Park, where all the waterfalls are. And, we don't go on the real challenging trails with the girls at that time. Now we go a little bit challenging with them.
Yeah.
But all the trails were boarded up. They had they had 2x4 boards like blocking the trails with that orange construction fencing that look,
Yes. Yeah.
And we get to the trailhead and we got our 2 little girls, and there's like 3 or 4 other families. And we're all looking at this damn thing, and all of us at the same time decided we're going to tear it down. We're going hiking. To hell with their rules.
Hey,
and we all
Shane.
just looked at each other. They said that they can't arrest us all. They can't tell us all not to do it.
Yeah.
And it was like, my point being is, during this whole lockdown, so to speak, me and my family have never been one to go to the shopping mall, or, I mean, we do occasionally, but it was like, we are more outdoors. We want to go see something beautiful. So it really didn't affect us much, but it was, people were just so damn desperate to get out and do something. And I noticed it there. It was like, it was a bummer for them to, they're going to shut down our national parks, our state parks. Like, what the hell are we supposed to do?
Right. And I was going to say, here on the pass, Shane, if you didn't hear me, I said, hey, it's good to have you. And I'm going to cover the cuss thing real quick after I finish this thought, because it's going on in chat. But here it was terrible because people were wearing those face things, walking on the paths outside. And I thought, oh my gosh, and I did not. So, I believe in freedom of choice with that, obviously. And I thought to myself, if you think that little piece of like this and like doing this is going to save you from sucking in something that's out there, I always said, why weren't people worried about it going like in their eyes and like getting on and through the eyes? If it's a small little thing, your eyes, I mean, right. So it never made sense to me, but I don't know. It was sad. So those people, those of us, should say, that were able to get in their vehicles and go somewhere, or step outside and go somewhere and have some fresh air. That was a big mental benefit. And I hope that, people should, because I heard at the hospitals around here, they're making people wear that thing again, and they are not saying why. They just say that they're required. My friend was telling me that today she took the man she takes care of to an appointment, and it just had a sign up that they require you to wear them. And I said, why? And she said they didn't say. So I'm like, here we go. They're going to try to do that again. And now they're not even going to say why, because before they said why. Now they're just mandating it. So I don't know. We might be in for something else again. I don't know. But so that's why I'm saying what I'm saying now. Please don't fall for it, and please get outside and get some fresh air, because it's detrimental to your psyche if you're not out there. And as far as the cussing, you guys, because a lot of people have different opinions in here. And actually somebody said I worked on something and I've never heard cuss words, but it made me laugh because where was it at? They were cracking me up.
For the record, I have not heard many cuss words. I grew up in the
There you go.
field.
Yeah, that's it.
Obviously sarcasm.
I know that's what good one. That's a good one. But you know, you guys, we fight all these different things, these temptations all the time. And tomorrow I'm doing a devotion, but this is the thing. Because a cuss word slips out here and there doesn't mean I'm not forgiven and doesn't mean I'm a bad person. You know, I can speak as eloquently and sweetly as possible. I can choose to show you on the outside what you want to see as a person that is a Christian. That doesn't mean I am. Because you know what? The enemy wears masks, okay? The enemy disguises himself as light. So I'm just going to say, I respect everybody's opinion. You know, I'm not a big cusser. I've flung a few out there here and there. Yes, I have. More recently, yes, emotions get involved and I do, but it doesn't mean I don't ask for forgiveness for it and I try not to do it. Those of you out there that can refrain from doing it, I commend you because it's not an easy thing for some to do. And then I just want to lay that to rest, you guys. I appreciate everybody's sides to it. I just want everybody to be kind to each other. We're all different. And in reality, Jesus didn't come to save the people who were saved. He came to save the sinners. He sat amongst the people that were the trouble of society. So if you don't endear them to you and you just shun them aside, what kind of person are you? So that's all I'm going to say about it. And I'm going to drop it. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Richard says hospitals in Oklahoma City area are on code red. They're mandatory. Oh no, Richard. See, so here we are at springtime. We're just talking about getting outdoors and trying to relax a little bit. And now this is coming back at us again. I don't know that's, and it's just like kind of sliding in.
I think it's going to be more, this is just my opinion, but you know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist if you get out enough to realize even during the lockdowns where we got to learn areas that we could go to that were still free, right? We knew to stay away from Madison, Indiana, because it's a college town, very liberal, artsy community. We got to learn that if we wanted to go somewhere where we didn't have to deal with it. It was funny that Christopher Sandor mentioned Brown County because we used to go to Brown County, the state park. It's over by Little Nashville.
Okay.
And, you know, we go over there and nobody would bug you. They didn't require you to have it on. It was like, you know, so it was like, you know, I think that if there's going to be a widespread, whatever, lockdown again, I think you're going to see it more. You're going to see more of the compliance in larger cities, metropolitan areas. I think this time around, people like in my area, they're not going to go for that again. They're going to be like, nope, get out of here with that. You know, you know, we're tired of it.
Hang on one second, Cam. Hang on one second. I don't mean to interrupt you. Shane, come on up if you want to come up. I dropped the link in there for you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Cam. I'm sorry.
I just think that it's kind of like a risk versus reward thing, and anybody who dies is awful. I'm not saying that, but okay.
Right,
so if you've got 90,000 kids in an area or whatever, and then you've got, you know, a senior citizen home that's got, you know, 60 people living in it, and one of them dies because these kids are running around freely, I think it's more important to let the kids live. And go do the things they're doing. Like we're locking everyone down to save the life of somebody that was probably going to die anyway. Like when you look at some of these, and I don't want to get into this, but you know, I'm married to a health worker. All of her friends that we hang out with and go to, go summer activities, they're all RNs or doctors also. Yeah. And they've seen people coming into, med surge and coming into the ER and coming into the hospital. And it was like, it's like most of the people that were passing away from this illness were people that had chronic or acute COPD. They had extreme cases of diabetes, or they already had cardiac issues. Now, would they have lived longer without contracting it? Sure.
Yes.
But it's like, I'm not going to tell my 6-year-old little girl that she can't go play in the state park because someone who smoked cigarettes their whole life that got emphysema doesn't want to die.
Yes.
You know,
that's a valid, good point, Cam.
It's like a risk versus reward. Do we lock all of society down out of fear of a few people? I guess it goes back to the same thing. You know, there's a plane flying, the military's got to take it down. It's got an explosive in it or something, an airplane. Okay. And we know, yep, there's 150 people on board, but this thing's landing in an airport that has 100,000 people in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, do we take it down or do we let her cruise on in and take our chances? It all comes down to that. I'm the type of person, I'm sorry to say, if that decision was on me, it would have to depend on the circumstances, obviously, but I'm probably shooting it down. You know, but what we're doing in these circumstances is we're damaging the psychological statuses of millions of people, children. We're keeping kids out of school, or did, right?
Right.
To hopefully save, 1,500 people nationwide per month.
Yeah.
That we're probably going to pass away in the next year or two anyway. I know that sounds very heartless, but when it comes to kids, take my life, but let the kid live. That's how I look at it. Do not lock my kids down. You can lock me down all you want. Let the kids play, man. Let the kids live. That's
yes.
That's all I've got to say on that.
No, that's a very valid point. I mean, it is about the kids, and you know, those videos that we saw, what they went through with doing that on their face in schools, and they were crying, just ripped my heart out. It's so disturbing. And you're right. You know, it was a real thing. It did happen. People did get sick and you know, not be well from it. Some recovered from it, but it was the mass hysteria that, to me, was so unfair and unkind. And I hope that doesn't happen again with people, what they're saying in chat. I'm hoping that people do listen to their instinct and say, you know what, my kids are going to be okay. It's okay. Let them be who they are as children.
Well, hell, it didn't even really affect them.
Yeah. Yeah. What's going on, Shane?
How you two doing?
Hey, we're doing pretty good. Pretty good. We decided to just pop on up and do some random chat and hang out tonight for a little bit and see what was happening in the world.
Absolutely. No, I think that's a great idea. Like I said, I just finished up mine and
did you?
Scanning through, and I seen you. I thought, what the hell? I didn't get a notification.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't get a notification. So I'm thinking, what the? Well, maybe it'd help if I turn on my bell notification.
Yeah, probably. Well, you know, and it's funny because I did set a little event thing for a few seconds, you know, like a few minutes beforehand, just because so people are aware. You know how that goes, but some people still aren't getting it, and that's okay. I mean, they catch it later or whatever, but I know a lot of people like to catch it live to be able to join in on the conversation, you know, and that's what it's all about. So go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, no, I shut mine down. It was a good time because now they're all popping in here. So hopefully,
good.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've come from mine and coming over here, please give her a thumbs up and give her a likes. Share her out. We may not like it, but somebody will.
Right, just like Cam, poor Cam. You know, Shane, I have to give Cam credit that he gets beat up a lot. He gets beat up a lot for sticking up for me or hanging with me. I mean, he puts up with a lot, you know. I think that my halo isn't as high of a halo and worn all the time like people think, just like his horns aren't always there, you know. Everybody has good and bad in them. So I'm not as innocent as people think. They've probably seen that over the last few months. You know, I do have emotions and feelings, but so does Cam. You know, Shane.
Well, that goes back to you being on the other.
And me and Cam got a little sideways 2 different times. One time I called him and we worked it out. The second time was I didn't call him and he didn't call me and we didn't talk. But it was one of those deals. I didn't get all the information. I got crossed, so it was my fault, and I took blame for it. And I even did it publicly. So it's one of those deals. I don't have a problem with if I'm in the wrong. I want to tell you I'm in the wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. You were going to say something.
No, I think
Cam.
there's a lot of it when you're associated with another show. Like when you were with the other one, being controlled in what you can do and can't do. I think it's better to build your audience if that's what you want to do. Build your audience doing you.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna cuss, people are gonna come in. They're still gonna come in whether you cuss or not. You're gonna get just as look at Salty Cracker. He cusses all the time.
Yeah.
Got millions of followers. So it's like do
yes.
you.
Do you, and that's all there is to it. Yes. And we're all going to be off some days and we're going to be on some days. And hey, Adam, thanks for that comment. Yeah, with the C word, but hopefully I don't get taken down for that one.
You won't.
But I won't. Okay. But what I was going to say, is we learn a lot, and it depends on the direction that you want. So once again, I'm just gonna say thanks for saying the other one. But I do wish him well. He had a direction he was going. Let him go. We're not knocking that, but the direction that I'm going is what I'm doing here. Whatever happens. I'm really, like I said, I'm going to do a show. It's coming up. I don't know if you guys want to be a part of it or whatever. You're more than welcome. But I keep seeing more and more stuff about the kids and at these bars and I saw more videos today with these transgender people teaching. It got me so upset. Teaching them to twerk. This transgender person was teaching this child how to twerk, and these parents bring them. So I want to investigate it a little more because it is happening across the country. It's still happening. I don't understand. Thanks, Adam. You're awesome. I don't understand why it keeps happening, what these parents are thinking, but I want to dive into that a little bit. So I'm sure that a lot of people maybe won't be comfortable seeing a show where we cover about kids, you guys, but the reality is it's important to me. So maybe they just don't watch that show. So I agree. I think with Shane, I know Shane is himself for the most part, right? Shane and Cam and Mike,
Yeah.
we are who we are. That's it. And like it or not, that's who we are. I'm not going to bend and try to please anybody anymore. I was really trying to be a people pleaser. That doesn't work so well because you lose who you are.
And I'll tell you this, I don't care what you do. You can do meth, you can do coke, you can do drugs. I don't give a shit what you do, but I want to tell you one thing. Don't bring it around me or little kids. Now, if I see it around little kids or myself, I blow a friggin' gasket, and there's a reason. Kids are innocent. Leave them innocent. There ain't no sense in involved kids. I don't care what your problem is, what you may or may have not done, or what you used to do or what you do.
Yes.
Just don't bring around little kids. It's just not their fault.
Right.
And don't involve them in something that is going to destroy their lives before it even begins. And I'm very big on that. And this, I got to be very careful what I say here. But this little child incident things where they're all underground and hidden in places, I'm so livid about that I can't see straight.
Right.
And it's wrong. It's wrong. I got to be very careful. So I don't get excited.
Right. But it's true because, Shane and Cam's little girls are just beautiful. They're that towhead white hair. They're beautiful little girls. And I think those sweet kids, I mean, all these kids with these different personalities, and they're just so happy and innocent. And all they want to do is play and have a good time. And like you said, learn, enjoy the ice cream that's dripping down their arms like we did when we were kids. So that is my mission, to try to, even if it's uncomfortable conversations, is to let us as adults leave a better society for them so they can have those simple things in life again. Because I can't imagine, and it is emotional and psyche damage that it does to them with what they've been through. They see, that thing on their face, not wanting that at school, but then they see their parents all uptight and stressed out. You know what I mean? Good night, Adam. You know, it's not fair to them. It affects them. Even if the parents don't partake in some of that stuff, they're still stressed out, and they probably still see and hear arguments amongst family members or whatever. It's just a bad environment, and we need to make it a better environment for our kids all the way around, 100%. And battle some of this stuff that's going on. If we don't do it, who's going to?
And you're correct. That is correct.
Yeah,
That's correct.
I've
I've never seen Cam's kids. He's never had them on show when I was around, but I'm not.
They've been on a couple times.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing them. Usually, you go downstairs and take care of them. Last time I was around you, so you know when I was on with you, so I never got to see them. But hey, it's all good. It is what it is. They're still children.
I just think this is one of those things where the internet can be a very hateful place. You know, I've got a lot of people that support I should have never been open and honest about some areas of my life, and I know in the future I won't.
What
you live, you learn.
Is the past, though.
No, it's not even it's not past. It's not like that. It's you don't give too many details about your life. I mean, if people can find it on their own, find whatever you want to find. But it's like my wife, for instance, no, there's no reason to ever have her on.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself in a situation where if somebody does dislike you, they know they can use that as a tool to get you hopped up, you know, and people have done it to me before without her never even being around. Right. Like, so it's like, I keep my kids and family don't need to be doing this shit. And really, when you sit there and you think about it, I shouldn't even be doing it.
This is your show, not your family's show. So this is your show. Or
well, I mean, even then, it's like the things that I cover, I guess you would call it. It doesn't need to be done. Like that's what I told Tammy. That's why explorations is what I have a passion for as my hobby. That's what I'm gonna do. And there'll always be something to goof off about on the Uncle Tifa show. But as far as turning it into something big, no desire. Yeah. But bringing family in, no.
But it is, you know, and it is true with family and stuff like that. But see, the family for me, this is why I got back into it, because of the kids and because of my kids. And I've got a thick skin. You may not think so, but I really do. I've got fight in me. I may not seem like it, a middle-aged woman. But you know what, I'm telling you what, because of the kids, the grandkids, that's why I'm out here. People can make fun of me. People can pick me apart, whatever, you know, but I'm doing it for the kids. I want to expose the kids. I want people to be, happy and unified. I want people to mend fences. I'm all about that. I've always been about that my whole life. So I figure I might as well, I do it privately, but, publicly like this too. And like I said, people will either like me or they won't. It is what it is. You can't make everybody happy, but you can try to bring peace and not hold crap from the past against people, and that isn't even just on YouTube, Shane and Cam. You guys know this. In personal life, so many relationships are broken. Family relationships are broken, or friendships, because they hold the past in the past. Nobody knows how to man and woman up, have a decent conversation, heal the wounds, fix it, not do the same shit to somebody again, and then move on. People's little feelings get hurt, and then they just keep digging in deeper and deeper, and then they finally say, oh, you're a jerk, I'm not having anything to do with you anymore. We as an adult should be teaching and leading the way for kids and be good examples and say, you know what, yeah, your aunt so-and-so hurt me, she said this, but we had a conversation and we've moved on from it. We have to teach our children how to problem solve in relationships. They have no social skills anymore because they're 9 times out of 10 they're on video games. How many hours a day? And we're letting the YouTubes of the world and video games teach our children, and that's a big disservice as a parent or an adult.
That digital babysitter is the worst thing you could ever put your kids in front of. Mm-hmm. Digital babysitter and the TV babysitter is the worst thing you can ever do to your children, in my eyes. Because, it's a distraction. It keeps them out of your hair so you can get something done.
Yeah.
But if you're working with your kids and they understand what you have to do and why you do it, there's no problems with them either because I've raised kids. I know you can train kids. Go, no, daddy's cooking. You get the hell out of the damn kitchen.
Yeah.
And then if
Yeah.
they don't get out of the kitchen, they don't mind, you swat them on the butt and they go sit down, they boohoo a little bit, and they stay out of the kitchen, they go find something to do. They play with whatever they've got in their room or whatever.
Yeah.
And that worked. And now look, now we got, you don't do that. So then you started seeing kids flopping down the middle of Walmart, kicking and throwing a fit, screaming and hollering, top their lungs for 30, 40 minutes at a time. And then the next thing you know, you see them growed up and they're Antifa. They're out there burning down freaking buildings, but it's a peaceful fire. And
Yeah.
you see all this crazy crap. And it's the same damn kids you're seeing, 10 years before that, laying in the aisle of Walmart, McDonald's, wherever, because they didn't get exactly what they wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That doesn't fly with me. I'm still old school. I grew up old school and I'm going to stay that way.
Yeah.
Come to my house, law enforcement, all you want, because you ain't going to change my mind.
Yeah. And
Kids
no,
come to my house, they do mind. I promise you.
And no is
I'm not a mean guy, so sorry. I'm not. I'm the most forgiving guy you'll ever meet in your life.
But no is Al was saying in here is the most important word you can teach them. Saying no and meaning it, though, you have to mean what you say as well. But I don't see here a lot of parents meaning that anymore. Cam, that picture you have behind you is amazing. I got sidetracked by that. Is that something you took, or did you find that?
No. The one I did a video on my YouTube channel, the tornado that went through here. I think there was 2 of them that went through here.
Oh wow!
I went outside. We had a what's this? We had what was that? What day was that? Was that day before yesterday, right? Yeah. Well, anyway, it's real weird weather here, and a lot of people don't realize it, but right where I live is right in the heart of Tornado Alley. Like every year.
Oh, come on!
It's not a matter of it's not a matter of will we get a tornado? It's how many. Last year, you've seen the video I did where I tracked the one that dropped down. I missed the photo of that one. I did catch it though. I've seen that one, and then in the video short I did just the other day. I did a joke about it. I said, "F you, HAARP," because everybody with the
HAARP.
I don't know how you can manipulate a tornado, but as soon as they can tell me, oh boy. But I showed the mesocyclone, and the tornado was actually running across St. Mary's. So I went out into my front porch, and it was sunny as hell on one side and just evil over here. And the tornado was actually on the ground tracking, and you can kind of see it. It was just really heavily rain wrapped, but it just had that sheer wall on the back end. The hook echo is what they call it. So there's a hook echo, and then that was actually a tornado. I didn't get you can't really tell, but that was the tornado that moved through. And then there was another one that dropped down in another one was spotted off of 101, which is about 2-3 miles away from my house. So we had 2 drop down that day, but it was a really quick storm. It was real quick moving through.
Just fast, yeah.
It was just a perfect blend of weather that, warm temperatures on the ground, extremely cold up high, and it bred a hell of a, storm cell.
Wow. DeCat, thank you so much for that. And it is bridge building and restoration. Speaking of weather, do you ever hear that, watch that guy, Ryan Hall, y'all?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That guy's cool. Yeah. He's into the weather. I like watching him when he pops
Ryan
on
Hall,
YouTube.
Direct Weather. I watch too, but then if you guys haven't followed a really good channel is Pesos Hank. He goes around and tracks every year the tornadoes. He's like personal friends with Scotty Kilmer, the mechanic guy. But Pesos Hank, I watch him a lot. But I do have 3 photos that I've gotten. Maybe I'll share those. I
Put
thought
them
I
up.
did.
Yeah, share them. No, share them.
But
Don't
yeah,
you have? Yeah, share them.
it's kind of another stupid thing I do. Like in the van, I don't have it set up yet. Something I've always enjoyed, just like extreme weather, just for photos or video of it. But I don't plan on making a channel with it. But if I catch tornadoes and stuff, I'll definitely put them on my exploration channel. But
Yeah, sure, definitely.
tornado season starts April 1st here. The most intense time of year is April 1st. I think until about the beginning of June, we see a lot of them. And I'll definitely be out there recording.
Just don't get swept away. You know, my favorite movie is that Twister. That was amazing, trying to find the weather. You know, put those up with what's her name, Helen Hunt. Was it Helen Hunt or whatever? It was Twister, I think, is the name of it. I love weather. Good. Thanks, Shane. Don't you? Well, you have a lot of tornadoes, don't you, in Oklahoma too?
Oh no, we never have them here. I don't know. They call Oklahoma Tornado Alley.
See, I didn't know Indiana had Tornado Alley. I always thought it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought it was Kansas.
Oh yeah, it runs all the way from. It runs from about Houston, Texas. Now, there's no exact science because every year you can have one drop down. Like, let's say Missouri will have more one year than Arkansas, or Oklahoma will have an F5 or 2. So then they'll change the pattern of Tornado Alley. It changes every year. But pretty much all of southern Indiana, western Kentucky, obviously, by the Maysville F5 that went through there and destroyed the town. It runs through there, cuts up. It goes through southern Indiana, Evansville. And it stops about Dayton, Ohio, down to Cincinnati, about central Ohio. South central Ohio is technically where it levels off. But where I'm at, we get pummeled down here with them. Probably just as they're not as strong. But see, this is another thing. You can sit there and say, "Oh well, you know, we mainly kick out EF2s or 3s," whereas like where Shane's at in Oklahoma, or, you know, Arkansas, you know, Nebraska, they're kicking out F4s, F5s every time they can turn around. Then right when you think that, we get an EF4, EF5 that devastates a freaking, you know what I mean? So it's like, it just depends. It changes every year. But southern Indiana is absolutely southern Illinois, southern Indiana, western to northern Kentucky, very, very bad areas for tornadoes. They pop.
Yeah, 2 things I'll add to that. John H. says Oklahoma has an average of 62 tornadoes per year. That is not, he's pretty spot on. And here's the deal. Yeah, everybody thinks that a tornado is only going to happen in the dry weather states. That's BS. I've seen them in Oregon. I've seen them in Washington State. We're seeing them all over. And here's the deal. It's the hot air and cool air mixing. And then you get the clouds are rolling, which I call them barrel clouds. And the next thing you know, this cumulus cloud drops down a little tail. Well, and sometimes it don't do much destruction, but the winds around it's what you got to watch, because of microburst. They'll pop your damn roof off. A microburst will pop your roof off as fast as a tornado. I mean, your whole damn roof. You won't have no insulation in your ceiling. I mean, it'll just take your whole damn roof and just give it to the neighbors.
Well, we're just crazy, dude. Well, here, you know, the dang pines are so tall. They're, you know, because they planted with it when they made this. This was made, the city that I live in, I think, is in the late 70s, early 80s or something. And all the pine trees are super tall. And as you know, pines don't root deep. They kind of spread the roots out. The roots spread.
Yeah,
so wide. So we get these straight winds here. And I'll tell you what, all you hear when there's even strong storms, and then we get the hurricane after effects sometimes too. But we've had tornadoes here where we're in the closet. And the thing is, it's not like it's Michigan where you get basements, right? They don't have a lot of basements here in Georgia because of the clay or whatever. But all you hear is thud, thud, thud. It's like, and it's just big, huge pines everywhere falling down. It's insanity. And we have underground wiring and electricity where we're at here, but on the outskirts we don't. So then the power goes out and inevitably around the city and everything. And then for the next week, all you hear is like chainsaws just cutting up the trees and getting rid of them. But it's kind of scary when we start getting winds here. Even if it's not a tornado or a heavy storm, you just start getting strong winds here. You watch those big old pines and they're just going like this, and you're just waiting to start hearing the thuds over and over again. Because really, this city that I'm in, the area I'm at, is just like we're plunked in the middle of pine trees. Is really all it is. It's like we're in the woods. We've got scorpions, we've got spiders, we've got all kinds of snakes and stuff like that.
You ever heard a tornado?
Yes.
Well, in my video, you can hear it off in the distance. The one in my YouTube short, it's an ominous like howl, and I didn't realize because I wasn't paying attention to it because I'm not saying they don't get. I'm not saying I don't get scared of them. I respect them, but I get excited. So like if I see a tornado, like I've done before with my wife, she's freaking out over there and I'm giggling like a school kid because I want to catch it, but the thing is it's like when you do hear them, there's no sound like it. I've been through
it's eerie. It's eerie.
Dozens of hurricanes growing up in Florida, and the tornado just has people say freight train. No, it doesn't sound like a freight train at all. Not any I've ever heard. They just have like this, like a really high pitched frequency. Cool. It's like when you roll your window down a little bit in your car and it'll whistle.
That's
just
close.
Amplify it, 200 times over. And it's a frequency that almost has a vibration to it. But that one that I got on that YouTube short probably wasn't but about, I don't know, maybe 8 miles away at best.
Wow.
I mean,
John H., I didn't know that about Michigan. And Kim, I'm from Michigan too, obviously, born and raised, but been here in Georgia, going on 14 years now. I didn't know that Michigan was the fourth state, highest tornado state. I had no idea. Wow. It's crazy.
Well, like I said, it could change. Like it changes every year. So last year, they will report how many average tornadoes Indiana will get, right? But here's the thing, like, Shane probably knows this living in Oklahoma, okay? It kind of goes back to that question. If a tree falls in the forest and no one's around, does anybody hear it? Does it make a noise? There are so many tornadoes that happen every year that go unreported because they're either not spotted by somebody like a storm spotter, or they're not picked up on radar, because those mistakes do get made. It'll have a perfect hook echo. It'll have a perfect, feed source, but they'll overlook it and be like, we're seeing rotation, but nobody's told us that there's a tornado on the ground. So they'll go, okay, no tornado on the ground, but we had rotation and we're going to go ahead and warrant this out. But in reality, there's a tornado on the ground destroying somebody's house. Some of them, I've seen some of them track, I've heard and seen some of them track half a mile. They'll come down, they're ferocious, and then just like that, they funnel out. That doesn't get reported as a tornado when in actuality it is. But Indiana, from last year, we get they're showing an average of 22 tornadoes, and they average of an F3, which is, you don't want that hitting your house. But you could say, let's say Missouri, for example. In my understanding, Missouri gets more tornadoes than anybody, right? You never hear anybody bring up South Dakota. South Dakota gets freaking blasted by tornadoes. But because they're so lightly populated, half of them that happen never get reported. So it's like, it's like that one that I tracked around here still is not a tornado on the weather website. And I seen the damn thing with my own 2 eyes. So did my wife, but it never got documented as a tornado. And it ran all the way. It tracked about 14 miles. It didn't hit any structures. There's another point there, but it absolutely twisted the tops of trees off.
Oh my. Yeah.
And I came out of my road out here. This was last year, and seen it on the ground. And I was going to get a photo of it. And I was like, no, I want to get up to the 4-way and get closer, because it was probably a mile from me. And you could tell it was getting weak because it had like little spin-off like vortices. It was kind of weakening. It was getting ready to dissipate. And by the time I got out there, it had already sucked up. It was just a little bit of a cone. I was like, damn it. But nobody reported it. Now, had I called it in, I could have called it in and said, hey, tornado on the ground. Okay. It'd probably helped if I had a picture of it or a video of it. Then they would have probably most likely reported that as a tornado touching down. That's how that shit works.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's got to be spotters that turn it in, because they can't. Weather watchers can see from the top side. They can't see what's on the ground. Out here in Oklahoma, we have what we call storm spotters, and they're on the ground.
Right. And
I've had my brother be called when he was a storm spotter and be sitting in an area going, yeah, we don't see nothing. They said, look straight up. And he looks out his window and looks straight up above his truck, and there's one foreman right above him. And a lot of times you'll see them. I've been driving down the road and seen this cloud that's just barreling vertical across the clouds for about 10 miles. And it looks like a big old barrel rolling. And I mean, you can see it's barreling. So I woke up my buddy and I said, hey, look at this. What do you think of this? He was a storm spotter, and it blew his friggin' mind, because he knew we were sitting under one of the biggest tornadoes that ever hit Oklahoma. And then it sat down about 10 minutes later, right where we had went through. And that was in Ralston, Oklahoma. Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, remember in Panama City, remember the tornado that went through there and devastated it? Well, I drove through there, a little while later after it opened up. Panama City is actually not recovered, the actual city, fully at all. But the beach, Panama City Beach, a lot of the beach was wiped out, but that's where a lot of people go. And going through there, like Cam was saying, the tops were sheared off. You could see trees. They were just stripped of everything, and they were all laying down the same direction. Like it just went through there and just leveled everything off. And it was the creepiest looking field of trees ever. And it was just so devastating to drive through there, even though they were, they were back open for business. They need the tourist dollars, obviously, to help rebuild and all that. So to go back there and see the amount of devastation, even after they were technically reopened and stuff, and stuff was cleaned up, it was just amazing. It is sad when you see what actual devastation tornadoes do versus on TV. You see it on video and stuff, but to actually see it and with your own eyes, it's incredible. It's a weird feeling to see so much devastation like that. Crazy. Well, you guys, get your pictures, because it's getting late. It's already an hour and 18 minutes in. I was going to do like 30 minutes. Well,
I was going to see if anybody sent anything in. Normally, my area is pretty good about it. In the modern age, everybody's got a cell phone. So, you can't even fart in the local restaurant without somebody recording it. But
anymore, you can't do anything anywhere without somebody recording it, And Kim, I'm Macomb County too. That's where I was born and raised, Macomb County area. And then I moved to the west side for a little while. Small world, that's for sure. On the internet, it makes the world small. I'm surprised how many people know each other, or have lived in the same areas as one another at one time or another. It's crazy to me. And it's nice to see John H. back around, isn't it, Shane?
Oh my God. Yeah, he came on my show and hung out the whole damn time.
Oh, I missed it. Yeah.
I was excited as hell, because it's great just to sit and talk with him. And the knowledge that man has is just stupid. and he moved back down to Oklahoma.
Oh,
So-
wow.
And he's right where
Oh,
I used
wow.
to go all the time, 4.5 hours from me. So I'm thinking
Wow.
about making a little trip down there to hang out and see him.
Have a little meetup.
Oh, hell yes.
All right,
And,
I
you
think
know,
I
you'll
got.
see who he really is. Okay, you got him, Cam?
I think this is Illinois. So
Can't-
this was just a couple. So Illinois, there was 4 of them spotted. Trying to get photos of them. One of them looked really
Okay.
nasty. Well, here's one.
Now, Bundy, I'm 25 minutes from from Kansas.
Ah,
40 minutes to the closest Walmart, which is in Kansas, Liberal, Kansas, Southwest Kansas.
All right, here we go. Let me see if I can get this. There it is right here. So let me get back over here and share this.
okay.
Here's one. This is one just the other day. Somebody caught, obviously got on the ground here. Oh, shit. Hold on. Wait. Damn
Oh,
it.
that's not it. You want me to?
Let me. Hold
You know
on.
what cracks me up, Shane? I don't know how he does this. It's my stream, but he adds it to my stream, and then I click it to add it to share screen. I just hit add to
That's
stream.
there
but
it
then
is right there.
But then he takes it out. I have no idea how this works.
Oh, yeah, because when he shares it, he gets control of it.
Yeah,
When
but
you
that's
share it,
fine.
you have control of it. And that's from
Oh.
2013.
Wow.
There's the one that they got a picture of that.
Yep.
That's
What's that?
huge.
2 days ago? Yeah, it was the 27th, I think, is when
So,
it. But there it
so
is.
you said it just touched down and then went back up and then just
No,
broke
this one
apart?
actually tracked. They got
No.
it damaged,
Oh, that's the one that damaged. Okay.
but it
Wow.
It
was
was
only
on the ground for
plastic.
45 minutes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it destroyed a lot. And
That's massive.
Rabbited or Raka.
It's Rokabit J. Rokabit.
Okay, grew up in Perryton, Texas, which is 45 miles south of me.
Wow.
Oh, that's up in the
Texas Panhandle. Yep.
yeah, okay.
Yep.
But yeah,
That
there's just one, but yeah, they get
That's
like I said, it just
huge.
depends. It just depends every year what's going on,
That
how
was-
many you
I
get.
think they declared that one an F4.
What in
Holy
Indiana?
cow.
Yeah, that was that one. It was that you just showed was an F4, and it was because the winds weren't strong enough to be an F5, is what they say.
Well, yeah,
But
they
the damage was
classify it
just
on the new
there.
scale, the EF scale now, because for years we used to go, 0 through 5, just F. But
Yes.
how they gauge a tornado's strength is the damage that it does to structures and how well built those structures were. So
Well,
now,
they did factor in the wind damage too.
right, but it greatly depends on like a normal old tobacco barn. If it gets swept off the foundation, most people in the old days would go, "Oh my God, that was an F5."
Yeah.
Well, an EF2 could do that. Now,
Right.
if you're looking at like a brick built house that's bolted to a foundation and it wipes it clean and you've even got bent, carriage bolts, that's how they're doing it now. Like this thing's had to have winds of, 200 plus miles an hour sustained,
Wow.
to do this kind of damage. So that's how they're kind of gauging it now. Now we actually have to get an EF5 classifications pretty damn challenging now. Where back in the old days, as long as this old barn was completely decimated, it was an F5. Well, that's not the case. I mean, people don't realize a damn EF0, if it runs into a human being, it's going to pick you up and throw you. You're going to get killed.
Mhm.
Even 80-mile-an-hour winds like that in a vortex is going to pick you up and throw you quite some distance. But like an EF2 is nothing to play with. If you've got a good, solid, well tracking EF2, you want to get the hell out of its way quickly. EF5 is just basically catastrophic. Like,
Yeah,
you know that. Get the hell out of town if you can, or get bury yourself underground. But yeah,
crazy.
Can I address one thing, Tammy? real
Yes,
quick?
you sure can. Yes.
Rock a bit, Jay. I have never been to the Turtle Club. I used to hang out at the Seas Club all the time. I used to love going two-stepping.
Two-stepping.
oh wow,
No, I love my country dancing. I love my country weather. I am a
Two-stepping.
redneck from hell. Sorry. True and true.
True and true. Sunday we had 115 mile per hour straight line winds. Wow.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a
crazy.
pretty good gust. We call that here in Oklahoma an Oklahoma breeze.
Oh, you guys even have levels of different straight winds that it's all testosterone. Well, guess what, John? Mine was bigger than yours. Here we go.
Oh, here we go. We're gauging sizes now.
Yes, here we go. Guys always
You know,
have
when
to
they hit
compete.
70 mile an hour, it's like everybody's going, that's gale force winds if you're on the coast. Because I always talk about gale force winds on the coast. And I get to giggling because they're going 50, 60 mile an hour. And I'm going, it's an Oklahoma breeze. Come on out and visit a while.
Stay a while.
Yeah, come
See
on
how it
out and see
goes.
us. Yeah, I mean, it's like, but it's not that the wind is blowing. It's what the wind is blowing is what
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah.
worried about.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to call it a night because it's been an hour and a half and stuff. And I know it's a work night for a lot of people. I got to get up in the morning. I'm going to do a devotion at 11, but I got stuff to do before that. So, but I really appreciate you coming up, Shane. It's good to see you and hang out every now and again. That's awesome. And
No,
Cam,
anytime.
good. And Cam, you thanks for taking time out last minute to accommodate as well. And thanks for taking a little bit of a licking again. Sorry. One of these times, Shane's going to say, I'm not coming anymore, Tammy. I'm tired of dealing with it.
Oh God.
I'm trying to show you have more to you than people think. And, you know, it is what it is. It's going to happen, you know, what the heck. So,
Can't
but
make them all
anyways,
happy.
no, you can't. All right, you guys.
not
Well,
gonna
have a
even
good
try.
rest of your night. Huh?
I said I'm not even gonna make them try. I'd make a try to make them all happy. I just
Do your
I
thing,
just want
right?
I just want to talk to great people, have a lot of fun, and go home. That's it.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. That's what we do. All right, guys. Have a good rest of your night. Thanks again. Bye, everybody in
See ya,
chat.
girl.
Thanks for spending time. Love you guys. Talk to you later.